Welcome everyone to the second episode of the STEM Broker podcast. I'm your host, April Boyd-Noronha, known as the STEM Broker. But hey, I'm just a girl that's also a geek who loves to talk about girls in STEM. Just in case you missed our debut podcast last week, go to our webpage, www.thestembroker.com, and click on the podcast link to check us out. And of course, for more information about the STEM Broker podcast, upcoming STEM events, professional development training, you know where to go. Visit our website, thestembroker.com. Now you can check us out online. Follow us on Twitter at The STEM Broker, and like us on Facebook at facebook.com/The STEM Broker. So if you're on Twitter right now, and I apologize, we started a little late this week, and if you're on Twitter and you have comments or questions about the show, tweet them using hashtag The STEM Broker. Now I know you're wondering, who is the STEM Broker? Well, we are a consultant agency focused on increasing the level of training, engagement, and dialogue in support of all things about girls in STEM. Now, some of my listeners may already know that I have a personal investment in the success of girls in STEM. In that initiative, I am a parent of 3 children, 2 of whom are my own daughters, aspiring engineers. So here's 2 ways you can help keep STEM alive in the community. 1, partner with us as an advertiser. Or 2, sponsor a podcast for as little as $25 a month. So to get started, visit our website, thestembroker.com, and click on the donate link or send me an email at april@thestembroker.com. Now, just a few announcements before we get into the topic of today's show. Once again, make sure you visit us at our website, thestembroker.com, for summer STEM training for educators, youth leaders, and of course for the parents. Now, training for the adults, that will begin May 11th. And yes, registration is open right now. And of course, I will be hosting a STEM boot camp for girls in July, and that will start July 6th. So, you know what you got to do. Stay tuned into our podcast every Monday night at 9 p.m. for more details. Or you can visit our website, thestembroker.com's calendar page, for updates and to register when that is made available. So, are you ready for the show? I can see you guys nodding your heads. Well, here we go then. So, last week I shared with you my 4 surefire, tried and true techniques on how to get a girl into STEM. And I talked about my personal journey as a mother of 2 daughters who are also aspiring engineers. And to hear the podcast, go to my website, thestembroker.com, and click on the podcast link to check it out. Great information. I know you'll love it. Topic of the day. All right. So today, though, I'm going to share with you my experience at the Coderdojo event that my son and I attended last Saturday. And I'm also going to tell you about my tour of the Lean Lab with Katie Booty that's located inside the Sprint Tech Accelerator in the Crossroads District in Kansas City, Missouri. So the question is, where were you early last Saturday morning at about 9 a.m.? And if you guys remember, if you were in Kansas City, it was a dreary, cold, and rainy day. Now, if I had my choice, I would have been up under the covers in my bed, getting in my last Saturday morning winks before attending my son's soccer game and, other community events for my 2 daughters. But no, as I snapped back into reality, here's my story and I'm sticking to it. So being a girl who's a geek, but hey, I'm also a cool mom who loves her son, last Saturday morning, me and my son Caleb, who's age 9, attended our very first Coderdojo event at the Blue Springs South High School. Now, Let me say that again and say this slowly. It's called a Coderdojo. And what this is, it's a free way for kids in the Kansas City area to learn how to code. Yeah, free. And these community events are hosted by local tech professionals and educators who also serve as mentors. Now, from the moment the kids step into the room, they're introduced to the basic elements of coding, regardless of their tech or computer level. Now, the Coderdojo event made coding cool by using the program called Sketch. And you can look that up online. It's free. It's available to all. So, as the parent that I am, I'm a cool mom, but I'm also a parent. I was kind of lurking outside. I was passing by the youth room and I asked one of the mentors, how's everything going? And he was young and he admitted that he was new, but said that some kids were like pros. They were already designing websites, and while others were like total newbies. But they still loved the idea of the opportunity to come and design and code for their own video game. And it's all within this 2-hour time frame on an early Saturday morning. And I know by now you guys can tell I am not an early person, but I digress. And I promise, April Boyd-Noronha, the STEM broker, I promise I won't mention the fact that the event was early, very early. But now getting back to the Coderdojo, the topic of the moment. So after completing the permission form for my son to attend, I was shown the way to the parents' lounge while he was escorted to the Coderdojo youth area. Now, I must admit, probably the average parent would have been a bit skeptical being separated from their young child. But they must have saw the panic on my face because they were assured that all the adults that were volunteering had passed a background check. They knew who they were. They were professionals in the city. Plus, though, actually, being a substitute teacher and an active parent in the school district, I was pretty much familiar with this school site. So that kind of calmed me down. But come on, what parent doesn't suffer from some level of kid separation anxiety? I mean, at least initially, right? But I tell you what, the moment I saw the sign, hospitality room, I ducked inside there and I enjoyed myself a Danish and a cup of orange juice in complete peace and quiet. But of course, here's my disclaimer. You did not hear that from me. But you know what? The way I see it, that was payback. You know where I'm going. Payback for that early morning. I mean, okay. I'm just kidding, Coderdojo. Just kidding. Okay, not really. But what would you have done in my situation? Early Saturday morning. I'm just saying. Don't judge me. I'm a parent. But I digress. Getting back to the point at hand. So this particular Coderdojo, I can't even say it. This event was held from 9 a.m. till 11. And each kid is either provided with their very own laptop or they can bring their own. It's on a first come, first served basis. Since there were laptops still available, I got to keep mine while I was in the parents' lounge. So, I was a happy camper on this very early Saturday morning. But we're moving on. But from a parent's perspective, what I really liked about the Coderdojo event was that kids were literally thrown in. It was sink or swim. But the beauty of the way this program is set up is that really no child was left behind. And, I'm reminded of the Marian Wright Edelman of the Children's Defense Fund. She would so proudly say, no child was left behind. So it was a success. And shortly before the Coderdojo event ended, all the parents were invited to review the work of their child. And we all expressed our oohs and our ahs. And we watched as the kids collected their very own 3D laser printed Coderdojo tokens. And you can go to our Facebook page to see and learn more about this event. at facebook.com/the STEM broker. And if you're a parent or a girl in STEM, or even if a son, make sure you like and follow our Facebook page too. Once again, it's facebook.com/the STEM broker. Now, you all know how I do. I must take some time right now to share with you what I call my personal STEM stats. It's an assessment of the Coderdojo event. And here's my disclaimer. Of course, this is not an accurate assessment, but it stems from me just simply scanning the room through the eyes of a parent. So while in the lounge with the other parents, I'd say it was about a 90-10 split of mostly moms pulling the morning duty with a couple of dads sprinkled here and there. And I got to thinking, oddly enough, the men were the minority, quote unquote, at this early stage of learning about STEM for the kids. Yet we all know when at, about the college or the career stage, males dominate the STEM arena. So, that was something to think about, right? Where early on, the women, the moms, encouraged STEM engagement of both their sons and daughters, much like me. Yet somewhere between, then, now, and adulthood, the girls either fall off, they break out, or even run for cover under the guise of other career choices besides STEM. But I'm here on a mission. I'm the STEM broker. I'm here to be the change, to be that change in the cycle as my role as a parent, a STEM advocate, and an IT professional. Now, I'd say the student breakdown of all the attendees, including all of the kids that were there between 4 and 17, that breakdown was approximately 80-20, boys to girls. And I saw a few siblings, but most importantly, I was so proud that I saw young girls in STEM representing. And did I mention that the ages of the Coderdojo participants were from about 4 to 17? Now, I must admit on that particular event that most of the youths attending were about middle school age. But hey, we've got to start somewhere, right? So, see, the good thing about this program is that the mentors and educators meet the kids where they are. There is no judgment, at least from what my son told me. And he said it was so much fun and that he wanted to keep coming to more Coderdojo events. I mean, the mentor that was working with him had to almost kick him out off the laptop because he was so caught up in creating and finishing his new video game. I mean, how can you not like that type of concept? Now, unfortunately, the April event was the last Coderdojo of the school year, as they only run during the school season. So when I discussed this with the coordinator, she informed me that other parents asked to be kept in the loop of STEM events during the summer. Ding, 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 ding. Now, of course, me being the STEM broker, I informed her that I was offering training for adults and educators in May, as well as a Girls in STEM boot camp in July. Now, the gods couldn't have planned a better introduction for my STEM summer program, so I was pleased to just tell her more and exchange information. But for the listeners there now, if you're an educator, a parent, a local STEM advocate, or even a girl just listening right now to the STEM Broker broadcast, make sure you check out our website at thestembroker.com for details about our STEM boot camp that's going to start the week of July 6th. Now, last week, not only did I get to experience some coding with my son, I also took a field trip to the Sprint Tech Accelerator that's located in the Crossroads District in Kansas City, Missouri. Now, I got the opportunity to hang out with Katie Booty, the CEO, and